All right, so this was at Cap Shoe for Huntington Beach. You guys were hosting Glendora. Did you know much about them going to the game? I mean, obviously you watch film, but they don't really play anybody around here, so it's kind of hard to judge.
Yeah, we'd never really, or I personally have never really heard of this team before up until we heard we were playing them. But, I mean, they're from really far away. I mean, I think it's past West Covina, so
Right.
Yeah.
pretty deep. But, I mean, we watched the film, studied our opponents well.
Who was like their guy that you were worried about, or what was
No,
the biggest
number
challenge
8,
for you?
right? Number 8's got a ride to Washington, I believe.
Number 7, yeah.
Or
the
7
tight end.
did, right.
Yeah, him and then their other wide receiver, I believe number 5 were two main people we wanted to watch out
And their
for.
quarterback was really good, too. He scrambled
was.
a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's get in this. Early on, they're actually, first drive, the back's going to take it to the house. Were you a little nervous at this point? Like, oh no, or is it just one of those things they found a gap and hit it?
I mean, honestly, I used to get nervous, but this always used to happen to us for some reason. We'd always have these big plays, but that just really helped us later on in the season for us to come together and realize, all right, we're good, let's regroup, and let's fix our mistakes and play better.
All right, well, one of the reasons you guys were playing better is this guy right here, Hunter Gray. Brady Edmonds, only a freshman. You give this guy time, he can throw the money, or the ball right on the money. Great throw, great catch. So, you guys are looking to respond early on. And then Hunter Gray, again, this is not a replay. You'll hear a lot of highlights from him. The cameraman doesn't get it, but just look at the sidelines. That pretty much tells you all you need to know.
No, Hunter, you run such great routes. I mean, quarterback's got to love throwing to you because, a quarterback really is throwing to a spot, not throwing to a receiver. And it's your job as a receiver to be at that spot, and you're always in the right spot.
Thank you.
So now they get a penalty, so you guys decide to go for 2. Tyler Young's going to take it right up the gut. So now you guys are up 8-7 early on. Got to be feeling good. And then later in this game, Gavin Seguin, who had a monster night, is going to arm under across the right tackle, brings down the back in the backfield. And defensively, you guys are making some huge plays. And then again, Tyler Young on offense. They're going to swing him out. Edmonds shows just a little flare. Good blocking by the lineman out in the open space. So gets another big drive for Huntington Beach going. And now watch Nathan Chow, the right guard, is going to kick out the end. Justin Tuanu'u is going to block down. Fullback's going to lead up in. Just great blocking all the way around. The drive continues. And then from there, Tyler Young is going to finish it off. Edmonds is going to hand it off, following the pulling tackle. Nice job by Tuanu'u, Justin. So now it's 15-7. Huntington Beach got a little bit of a cushion, but Glendora would not go away. They threw a little fade route, puts it right where it has to be. It's tough to defend a perfect throw and catch. So now it's 15-all. Now later in the game, they're going to attempt a field goal. Glendora, so now at this point, the field goal would be good. So it's 18-15 Glendora. So tight ball game here. And then again, Hunter Gray, the man you can count on. Drives across the field, catches
Look
it,
at that.
shakes a defender. Fighting for those extra yards.
He finds space in between 4 defenders there, and Edmonds just threads the needle. So it's awesome to watch the Huntington Beach offense. They got so many weapons now,
then they
besides,
hit him on the post route.
Hunter Gray, Masachi Ray. Who else really stepped up? I noticed the other night in that game was Steele Kurtz. He had a great game too.
Steele played very good that
Yeah.
game. He's our starting safety.
Right.
And then he also played wide out for us, and he stepped up. He had, I think, 2 or 3 catches.
He's a hitter too.
Yeah.
He can lay the boom.
He can. And he's a sophomore, which is good. So
Oh
he's gonna be
man!
there for
All
2
right,
Yeah,
years.
and-
we'll have him in on
And
next
of course,
year
you
for
can always
sure.
got the
Yeah.
run game going with Tyler Young.
Yeah.
All right, not a lot of scoring in the third quarter. Defense was stepping up. So again, Glendora is going to kick a field goal. So at this time, they're going to go. It's going to become 20. Did I miss a play?
That kicker was good too, by the way.
Sorry.
He hit that field goal, I believe, from like 42 or whatever, and he was good, left-footed kicker.
Yeah, he's a good
All right, fourth quarter. Now they're going to kick the field goal to take
Right.
the lead.
This is huge right here.
But my man, Colonel Solo, up the middle, gets the block. You would have been losing at that point in the fourth quarter. So nice job by special teams. And then the drive. Tyler Young. Up the gut. The O-line's feeling it. They've got momentum. See the sideline jumping up and down. They're excited. Fourth quarter's running down. Brady Edmonds is going to find Musashi Ray. Finds that open spot in the zone. Hits it. And then from there, Brady Edmonds. Now, this is supposed to be a run, correct?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a run to Tyler, but as you see in the film, he fumbles the snap, and then he pulls it and runs
Just
it.
as an impromptu.
Smart.
Yeah.
And, that's pretty good composure for a freshman because,
Yeah.
And let me ask you this as a receiver working with a freshman. Go back to your freshman year. Could you imagine you guys playing varsity as a quarterback as a freshman?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
He's so mature now, and he's definitely grown over these 11 games we've played. I remember first game, he was super nervous, and now,
Which is natural.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is natural. But now this is the 11th game, and he's more calm. He knows his pocket. He knows the receivers he has. So he played really well.
So being in the huddle with them, you gotta just love the difference between game 1 as opposed to week 11.
Yeah.
What's your favorite play they run, by the way? When they call it in the huddle, you're like, oh yeah, this is my money play.
I would say probably just 39 because I'll just run a fade.
All right, so it comes down to defense. You guys are up 8 late in the game. Gavin again had a monster game. He's gonna come off the block, get the sack. Glendora would recover. They'd get to about midfield right before the fog rolled in. And if you guys were at the game, it was like that. Remember the playoff game with the
It
Bears?
was
and the
incredible.
Eagles?
The Fog Bowl.
Yeah.
It was It was weird, being there in the fourth quarter. All of a sudden, you're just standing there and okay, Huntington Beach kind of salting this game away, and then all of a sudden the fog slowly comes in over the scoreboard, right from the ocean.
Yeah.
And then it really started. And did you guys notice how much brighter the field got? Because it was reflecting off the lights and everything. And there was a point where I'm on your sideline. I can't even see the Glendora fans anymore. It was unbelievable. It got that thick. It was amazing.
So the Oilers would go on. Sorry, were you gonna?
No. So, do you think that was instrumental in shutting down deep? Because that last play of the game, I don't know if you guys saw that on film or not. Yeah. That number 7 receiver, he was open, and that quarterback kind of put it on him. But I don't know if he saw the ball or not. To be honest with you.
Yeah, when we were on defense on that last drive,
Yeah.
it started to come in. It was hard to see.
It
'Cause
was.
it was 3rd and 19, and I was playing the safety, and I would back up. It was hard to see the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
Or the ball in
it
the air.
was.
I don't even know what.
Yeah.
That's
It was. I mean, I'm on your sideline. I'm down in the end zone. Really close to everything, and you could barely see a couple feet in front of you. So I couldn't imagine with a quarterback dropping back 20, 25, 30 yards from you. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the good guys win 29-21. We actually had an opportunity to catch up with Gavin after the game. This is the interview you did. Can we get the volume up there, Mr. Coleman? We good? All right.
Joined by Huntington Beach Oiler Gavin Seguin here with
Coleman.
Sunset Rewind. Gavin, 29-21 victory tonight against Glendora. Good offensive team, a good scrambling quarterback. What did it take for you guys to stop them?
We just had to come together. The first couple of drives, we were kind of iffy. We just had to get through our gaps, do our technique, do our jobs, and we were good from there.
So tell me what playing in the Sunset League did for you this year. It seemed like you guys were prepared, having gone through all those battles, to take on a good Glendora team. How did the Sunset League prepare you for the playoffs?
All those good teams, Division III, Division II, that just prepared us, got us ready for, this Division VI league. They're not used to playing the teams we play.
You have a great defense, guys like you and Brandon Solo flying around all night, stopping their quarterback. What was the thing that their quarterback did best that you really had to focus on?
He scrambled really good. He was super fast. He can scramble out of the pocket. So as soon as we realized when he scrambled, we were pretty good from there.
So the game came right down to the end, came down to the wire. Glendora was driving, and then this fog rolled in Huntington Beach. That give you guys a home field advantage, you think?
Oh yeah, that was super cool. The scenery, that's football, man.
Well, great job tonight, Gavin. Congratulations. We look forward to watching you guys play next week. 1 down for the Oilers. Keep it rolling.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
You too.
So Gavin, man, he stepped up big time for you guys.
Dude, he had a game. His name was being announced nonstop. It was the Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Yeah, he was all over the field making tackles. I mean, the Huntington Beach defense as a unit was tenacious, and I mean, that Glendora quarterback was really good. He was able to, pick up extra yards. He scrambled, even when the receivers were covered downfield, he'd, get those extra yards. So that was a tough game, and Glendora was a good team. You guys beat a quality team the other night. You should be proud of yourselves.
Well, speaking of that, players of the game, we had 2. This was easy for me. I'm going with Brady Edmonds and Hunter Gray.
What a great
Edmonds,
picture that is. Look at
that is a great picture. By the way, Dole put this together, so nice job finding that. Edmonds,
you.
13 of 20, 260 yards. He had 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown that was improvised.
Yep.
And then Hunter, did you know you were number 1 in Orange County for yards this week?
You were.
You were the number 1 receiver in the playoffs as far as yards go. So I saw that. Yeah, 164 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I'm like, dude, we're getting both these guys. some love.
Absolutely.
And then who's your guy?
I had to go with Gavin. I mean, I statistically it said he had 2 sacks. Like, he had like 4, didn't he? I mean, he was like all over the field. There's a picture of him against Mayfair earlier in the season, but Gavin was just flying around the field. Like I said, the public address announcer said his name.
Well, that guy is
nonstop.
like one of my favorite announcers. You guys were telling me that's his stepdad, your
Yeah, it's his
announcer?
stepdad.
It is.
Because I wondered what his connection was. Go ahead.
And like when we're in the game, we always hear him like yelling like, "Get the stands!" Like, section, get up. Like,
Yeah.
Like,
I've been telling people on the show forever, you got to go to a Huntington game just to listen to this guy. I mean, he really demands from you fans.
I talked to him before the game, so he's, I commented a couple weeks ago that he has a velvety smooth voice. And I'm going to still repeat that. He does have a velvety smooth voice. And he was telling me a funny story. I don't know if you guys heard this or not. Apparently, somebody at Huntington Beach, person who works at the school said, hey, you got to, kind of tone it down a little bit with the bleacher stomping. He said, why? Well, apparently there's bolts coming out of the bleachers because the crowd's getting so carried away. He told me that, and he goes, you know what? I'm going to continue to fire that crowd up, though. We can put those bolts back in after the season.
He's right.
I'm like, well, if you're having that problem of bolts coming out of the stands because the fans are so fired up, that's a great problem to have. And then he also told me, I guess somebody in the neighborhood said, hey, your public address announcer does a good job, but could you tell him to tone it down a little bit because his voice is, resonates so much it echoes to the neighborhood. I told him, I go, dude, don't change a thing. I go, coming into the Huntington Beach
he's
games
doing his
is
job.
awesome. Yeah.
So I'll take that any day of the week.